Many wear dirt on their trucks as a sign of use and pride, while others choose to keep their trucks looking immaculate from the day that they purchase it. No matter which camp you fall into, there's no doubt that there are definitely things that you can do to your vehicle to ensure that your paint isn't damaged by dirt or debris kicked up by those tires. Because at the end of the day, even if you do like your truck looking a little bit dirty, you definitely don't want to end up with a ton of scratches and marks from things that are kicked up from all the adventures you take it on. That's why having mud flaps is an absolute must for keeping your vehicle pristine and in good condition. And EV accessory company EVBASE has sent me a set from their website to try on my truck today, so join me as we go ahead and install those. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Max, and let's get into it. Alright, so if you're familiar with my channel, you should be familiar with company EVBASE. They provide a ton of different EV accessories, not just for the Ford F-150 Lightning that we're going to be installing these mud flaps on today, but for basically any EV that you can think of. In the past, they've sent me a ton of stuff for my Tesla Model 3, including a variety of different hubcap covers, so if you want to check out some of those videos and see what EVBASE is all about, I'll include links in the description below and in the video now. But yeah, I've been incredibly satisfied with everything they've sent me thus far, so I'm very excited to see what these mud flaps are like, install them on the car, and get that added protection. Right now we've had a ton of snow and ice, so I'm constantly kicking up salt on the car, so anything I could do to keep that at a minimum so I'm not damaging the paint would be much appreciated. So with that, let's get into the unboxing and then get these on the car. Alright, so here we have the box that the Ford F-150 Lightning mud flaps came in, so let's jump right into it and see what the package comes with. Alright, so we got a set of mud flaps in one plastic bag. And then the other plastic bag, you have another set of mud flaps, as well as all the hardware that you'll need to install these. Nothing else is in the box, and there is no written out instructions, so I'm guessing that I'm going to have to follow this QR code to get the actual install instructions, although mud flaps should be pretty straightforward. You can see engraved on each of the mud flaps, it says that it is for the Ford F-150 Lightning, and also it has an indicator for being the front right side, the rear right side, the rear left side, or the front left side. It is made out of a nice high quality plastic, and they look like they'll be solid and match the other pieces of black trim that are present on the F-150. There are a whole lot of different options in here, making me think that there's probably a few different ways that you can install this based on what you actually want to do and the vehicle you have. So I'm looking forward to getting into those directions and going over exactly how we install these particular mud flaps. So yeah, without further ado, let's move on to the install on the actual vehicle. So there are actually no instructions on the website for this, so I did have to use a little bit of deductive work to figure out exactly how to do the install. So as you can see, the front wheel well has two bolts that you can attach to, while the back actually has 3 plastic plugs that you can remove to screw your hardware into. Now, along with the 3 that you're seeing here, there's also one along the bottom that'll have to be popped out that will also require a screw to mount that rear bracket into place. So starting right with the front, you can see we have the 2 pilot holes that come factory standard on the vehicle. So step 1 here is just removing those screws using a ratchet. Once those are out, make sure they're set aside in a safe place as you'll be using them again soon, and then clean off your surface areas so you're not trapping dirt and grime behind the mud flap. Now grab the mud flaps that you need to install, making sure you're using the right one for the side of the car that you're putting this on, line it up to your 2 holes, and then using the same 2 screws that you just removed, ratchet it back into place, tightening them so that the mud flap does not wiggle at all when you apply pressure. Onto the rear side, you're going to want to make your way around and remove all 4 of the plastic plugs so you have the space to insert your screws and brackets. This can take a little bit of muscle, and honestly, don't worry about breaking these since you won't need them anymore once you're done. Just be patient and continue to apply pressure until the holes are completely clear. Now this is where you're going to use the only set of hardware in that bag in this install. The bolt and backing set shown on screen will be used on either side of the mud flap holes and the holes that you've just cleared out to secure this firmly in place. This again can be tricky because you're at an awkward angle in a very tight space, but simply take your time and get your holes all lined up ahead of time and it should not be too much of a problem. I personally recommend not tightening these all the way until you have them all attached and in place. That way you have enough give to make adjustments as you go. Once these are all ratcheted into place and completely tight, you can move to the other side of the vehicle and repeat the exact same process on the remaining front and rear mud flaps. And yeah, as simple as that is, the install is complete, and you now have a brand new set of mud flaps protecting your vehicle's finish. So I really do like the look of these mud flaps. They definitely have an OEM feel to them and match the matte plastic that is on various accent features of the F-150 Lightning. You can tell they're built of a nice sturdy material, and once mounted, they aren't moving or wiggling anywhere, which is great to see, letting you know that they're not going to fly off or damage the underlying paint. They also are great in terms of size. You get a lot of coverage, and those are some pretty big wheels on a highly suspended truck, so you want to have as much of that as possible to keep debris, rocks, you name it, from kicking up and chipping away at your paint. In terms of install, not the easiest thing to do just because you are at an awkward angle when you're putting these in, and the set itself comes with a ton of hardware and no directions, and some of that hardware you actually don't even need for the install, which can definitely be confusing. To their credit, this is a no drill mud flap install, meaning you don't have to put any new holes. It uses the existing OEM holes, so you're just taking screws out or taking plugs out and putting a screw in its place in order to attach the mud flaps to the car. So for someone who doesn't want to risk damaging their vehicle, this is definitely a type of accessory that you're going to look for when choosing your mud flaps. I also think having these on the car in general makes it have a more rugged look, showing that you have something installed in your car that allows you to handle more aggressive terrain, which is a look I think many truck buyers will go for. All in all, this was another great product from EVBASE, so definitely worth checking out. And these also come in at the very affordable price of $44.99 on their website, and you can make it that much more affordable if you use my discount code MUDDYMAX, all one word, at checkout to get an additional 20% off your entire cart when you go to checkout. Definitely worth checking out. They have a ton of different EV accessories, so whether you have the Ford F-150 Lightning or a different EV, check out their website. They basically have anything that you could think of to accessorize your car. And again, thank you so much EVBASE for sending me this product to do a review. Very much appreciated. But yeah, that's all I had to talk about today. If you did like this content and you want to see more, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to see more. As always, thank you so much for watching. Until next time.